Yes. Good evening, IFNG. We are now live on Facebook. Yeah. So yeah, just pa mamaya. I would like to say first hi to all our members who's right on our Facebook viewers and also to Zoom participants. So please don't forget to tag your friends, especially if you're watching on Facebook. By the way, our topic for tonight is about GT, and we will welcome back again Miss Den from 9.09er. So, but wait, Miss Den, before anything else, sa lahat ng members, especially nasa northern part ng Philippines, I know na may bagyo, so please stay safe. Okay, and continue practice. Okay, let's bring back Miss Den. Hello, Miss Den. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening to all our participants here in Zoom. How many participants do we have? Yeah, so sige. Hello to everyone. Hi, Sir Jeff. Hello, Mr. M, Ms. Gladys, my BFF. And hello to all the global Pinoys that we have. Yung mga nurses on duty, off duty, hi to everyone. Again, I'm Den Solis from 9.09er, and in behalf of our company, we thank you for this opportunity that you've extended to us to share what we have or share what we know for our nurses naman. So, who are nurses and ano ba? For this case, kasi we will have writing task 1 general training. So, I think we have other participants from different professions. So yun. Hello to everyone. I'll be opening the my screen sharing. Yan. So, let me just adjust my screen. Ayan. Nakita nyo na ang ganapan ko. Malaki ng screen natin, guys. Okay. So, ito. Wait lang. Just a moment. Okay. Ayan. Yeah, portion lang of the screen I'll be sharing because for today, what we will be doing is an interactive lecture. So very quickly, I will do just an overview of Ielts General Training Writing Task 1. And then after the writing overview, so we will do the actual evaluation. And of course, before I evaluate something, you need to write. So the participants, I encourage you guys to please prepare your pen, papers, laptop so that you can share with us your outputs. For those who are watching via Facebook, please do share your outputs in the chat box, yung live chat of Facebook. And then for those who are with us here in Zoom, you can also share your outputs dito sa chat box. Okay? So hello to, yeah, Miss Steph, hello also. Yeah, sige. So may I know before I begin, guys, for those who will be taking general training, may I know yung profession ninyo? Yan. Kasi for most of the ACAD test takers, yan, big portion sa kanila ay for, medical field. But for general training, may I know yung inyong profession or yung career that you'd like to take. Yan. For the others. Restaurant manager, may nurse, okay? Assistant restaurant manager. Of course, ang goal natin maging restaurant manager and higher yung position. Very good. Sige po. Also, for the others, may nurse din. Yes, so Miss Steph's a nurse. Yan. As for me, I took general training also, but my profession is I am a registered nutritionist dietitian, my profession. I just took general training because iba yung route namin before. Okay, we had general training which was required for migration. So yun. Wow, kawaw ba ang nutritionist? Yes, kawaw. Yung mga professions nyo, kawaw din siya. Okay, yan. So, iba-ibang professions natin. And of course, we are all here just for one purpose, to attain yung dream, for you to be able to get more opportunities and bigger blessings for your family and yourself, of course. Okay? And taking IELTS will be your stepping stone in achieving your dream. Okay, so one part of IELTS, one subtest in your IELTS is writing. And for general training or for the writing subtest, you have two types or two parts. You have writing task 1 and writing task 2. For writing task 2, it's entirely the same format for academic and general training. But for writing task 1, this will be different because if academic test takers will have statistical reports or processes, they need to create an essay about that. For the general training test takers, you will have to write a letter. Okay, so in writing a letter, let's look at the overview. All right, so very, very quickly in terms of the score, we all know this for a fact that your writing task 1 consists of 33, or it comprises 33.33% of your total writing subtest score. 1/3 lang siya ng score niyo of writing because the remaining 2/3 or 66.66% will be intended for your writing task 2. Bigger percentage your writing task 2. That is why it is more strategic or more logical for you to write or to do writing task 2 first, and then after you finish task 2, because it has a more or it has higher score or bearing in terms of your subtest score, you can do writing task 1 last. Okay, in terms of the word count, the instructions for writing task 1 asks you to write a minimum of 150 words. But just to be sure and just so that you will be able to present your capacity in terms of writing, your competency in terms of using the language, the English language, it's ideal for you to write around 200 words. You can write, some people, they write longer than 200 words, but I do not recommend it. Why? Because of course, if you write longer than 200 words, it would take much of your time, both in writing and as well as the editing portion, yung last na part nila. Okay? In relation to time, the allotted time for writing task 1, you should not more than 20 minutes. So, kasi based on the 60 minutes na total time for the whole writing subtest, you should take only 1/3 of that. So 1/3 of 60 minutes, simple math, it's 20 minutes. Okay? If you can write shorter than 20 minutes, probably you can just write for 15 minutes. It's okay for you to do so. As long as for the 15 minutes, kompleto na yon. You already have yung writing mo itself, plus you already were able to check your grammar, edit, proofread. So lahat nandun na sa 15 minutes na yun. Okay? Format-wise, for the writing task 1, as I've mentioned, letter writing format siya. And then in terms of the kinds of letters, you can receive a formal kind of letter, or you can also receive an informal kind of letter, or sometimes a semi-formal kind of letter. So in terms of the variations, we will be discussing a little later how different is a formal letter from an informal letter in terms of the context or in terms of the words that you will be using. Okay? Next, how do you know, or what are the criteria that you'll be judged on? Okay, criteria for grading for writing task 1, same as for writing or for the whole writing subtest. Of course, you have 4 criteria, each having 25% each. So equally divided, walang lamangan. 25% for task attainment, 25% for coherence and cohesion, for vocabulary and lexical resources, 25%, and the remaining 25% is for grammar, grammatical range, and accuracy. Okay? Now, in terms of yung score-wise ninyo, since it's 25% each, average lang siya. Your score will be averaged, okay, for this one. Now, isa-isahin natin. For task achievement, in terms of your task achievement, this one refers to your overall responsiveness to the task. Okay, what's happening? Okay, yeah, it refers to the responsiveness to your task, meaning if this particular score measures if you are able to address your word count. So as we've mentioned, you need 150 words. So if you're able to meet that, then um, it's good for you. But more than the word count, you need to also make sure that you address or that you respond to the bullets in the questions. Generally, there are three bullets, sometimes four bullets, or sometimes even two bullets, depending on the task description that you will be given. So it varies. Now, for you to be able to assure that you have met the requirement of the task, please make sure that in terms of your body paragraphs, you have to have one body paragraph intended per bullet so that you won't be confused. Okay, so that you won't be confused. But in some instances, for example, the first bullet is introduce yourself, then you do not need to repeat an introduction of yourself or create a separate paragraph for that if you've introduced yourself in the introduction paragraph already. So sometimes you have to do that. Okay, later on, I'll be discussing further yung parts natin. Okay, next. Of course, as you address your tasks, you have to make sure also that you consider the keywords. Okay, because considering the keywords that are found both in your task description and dun sa bullets, you will be assured that you are able to follow the instructions, give what is asked of you, whether it is a suggestion or whether it is giving descriptions or giving situations, explaining or describing the situations, you have to make sure that you're able to provide that in your letter. Okay, next. Second one is your coherence and cohesion. Now, for coherence and cohesion, let's do coherence first. In terms of coherence, this is basically dealing with the paragraphing and the structure of your letter. It has something to do with your thought organization that is translated into the letter format. So you have to make sure that in terms of the structure, you're following the correct format. First, you have your, of course, your greeting, your salutation, yung dear, sir, or madam, o kaya, depending on the instruction. For example, if you're writing to a friend, dear, tapos name of your friend. So, ganun siya. Usually naman, in the instructions, how you begin your letter will be provided. Okay, you just have to follow that. Okay. Of course, after your introduction, you have your body paragraphs, as I've mentioned. The number of the body paragraphs, guys, it will depend on your bullet points, and it will also depend on the content of your bullet. Some bullets, depending if they are closer in terms of idea or the requirement in the bullet, you can just write one paragraph for that. You have to think also if it makes sense or if it is clearer if you just write one paragraph for two bullets if closer sila with each other in terms of what they're asking from you. Okay. Next, you have, of course, your concluding paragraph. In your concluding paragraph, if you're writing for a friend or yung English-speaking friend, ganyan, you can just have a very free and chatty na concluding paragraph. But if you have, let's say, a formal letter, as probably a complaint letter like that, or a letter wherein you need to reserve for a slot, something like that, you need to provide your details, your contact details. Okay, so very, very important yun. Okay. Next, after that, you have to make sure that you have a proper closing for your letter. So, different din yung closing natin if you have a formal letter and an informal letter. Of course, if you're writing a formal letter intended for, let's say, the editor of a newspaper, you will not write your reader, Geraldyn. You'll not write that, of course. You need proper closing, proper salutations for that. All right. In terms of cohesion, cohesion, this tackles the way by which your sentences and your paragraphs are linked. So we've mentioned that there are several paragraphs that will compose your letter. So there needs to be a smooth transition from one paragraph to another. So even from your introduction, tapos yung yung succeeding body paragraphs, and then how you close. It needs to have a very smooth transition so that your reader or your examiner, for that matter, would not have a hard time understanding what you mean dun sa letter ninyo. Okay? How are you able to assure that you will be having, or you will be writing a cohesive kind of letter? First, you can use your cohesive or transitional devices. These devices or words are, in addition, you can also use while, whereas, meanwhile. You can also use furthermore, due to, what else? You can also use conjunctions, yung mga and, or, nor, hence, you can use that. Sometimes you can also use referencing. So referencing words like this, that, those, these. Yeah, so you can use these words. But careful with your referencing, because sometimes, even if you try to use this, that, those, if your letter is not properly written, sometimes it seems or it appears to be quite confusing. It's not clear which word or which noun or which person or which event are you referring to when you use the word this or that or those or there or him or her. So you have to make sure that when you read the whole letter, you will not be asking the question, what is this? What is it referring to? Or what does the word those, or who's the person that the word those refer to? So it has to still be clear. You have to read it. That's why you need the last part of your writing, yung last, probably last 2 to 5 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes for you to proofread your answer. Okay? You have to make sure when the reader or when the examiner reads your essay, you have to ask yourself, am I making sense with this one? If I am the reader, will I be able to understand this, or may questions pa that will be left hanging on my mind? So ganun siya. Same goes for writing task 2 also. Okay, you have to make sure that when someone is reading, clear yung meaning ninyo. In terms of the last two, yung vocabulary and lexical resource, as well as for the grammar, you have to make sure that more than the variety or the creativity of the words that you use and the variety of your sentence structures, or the variety of your tenses, yung voices na ginagamit ninyo, you have to make sure, most importantly, that there is accuracy. Okay? Both are important. Both are important. But rather than always presenting a creative kind of letter, which you are not very sure of the meaning of a word, or if you're not very sure with the sentence structure that you are trying to use, I think it's better to be safe. But please challenge yourself also to try to make varied sentence structures and try to improve your vocabulary also. Because even if I say that it's better to be accurate than creative, of course, it will still help if you are able to present less commonly used words and more complex sentence structures. Hindi naman natin pupunuin ng super complex sentence structures, but at least try to show the examiner that yes, you can provide simple sentences. You can also do compound sentences, diba? Oh, hello to our viewers on Facebook. Hi, Miss Nika. Hello, Trisha. Choso. Yan. Hello. Hi, Sir Joel Conde. Hello, hello. And hello also to our Zoom participants. Ayan. Okay? So there you go. All right. In terms also for this kind of task, so one thing that can also make or break your letter is if you have a letter that is unbelievable. Meaning, so usually in a letter, if you're given a task and if you have requirements based on the bullet points, so usually you're required to answer something. If the situation that, let's say, you're asked to give a reason why you cannot proceed with your evening class. If your reason is not believable, probably if the reason that you've written there is because I'm tired, I cannot proceed with my class because I'm tired, and then you just simply stated that you're tired, make sure that it's believable. Because in the first place, why did you enroll for the class if you have another reason not to, or if you have or if you did not anticipate that you will be stopping the class because of another reason, because you're tired, or because if you probably you had another full-time job that coincides with that, or the schedule. So make it believable. In the same way, for example, if in your letter it was a complaint letter about the product that you bought, please make sure that it's also believable. So when you're asked to describe what the situation is, or let's say what the problem with regard to the machine is, think of believable problems to the machines. Do not just say that I experienced this. One student asked me to check her work, and then the problem with the machine was that there was no cord. She went to the store, ordered the product, and because she trusted the product, she was a supporter or a client of that store for decades now. Nobody assisted her. Nobody even tried to help her out, test the product. So that's why when she went home, pag-uwi niya walang cord. Is it possible, guys? I mean, can you think that in an alternate universe that it's possible for you to buy a product with no cord, an electrical, let's say a machine na walang cord? So you really have to think about your situations that you're going to present. Okay? Yan. Okay, next, let's proceed with our next one. Okay. What are the kinds of situations that can be given to you? Okay, for this one, yan, I've mentioned several kinds already, but yan, ito. I have two columns here in the table. I hope you can see it clearly though. Yan. Okay, here in the table, the first column is yung recipients. Okay, now in terms of your recipients, you can write a letter to the restaurant manager. Why? Because you have a complaint about the service. Or if not a complaint, probably you would just like to commend the restaurant for their service. So you can write to the restaurant manager. I am interested. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Nika. You're interested. Good job. So listen up until the last part, and then we will continue on writing later. Okay? Next, you can write to the local council. Why will you write to the local council? Because probably there is a pending project to develop a new structure in your area. So you can write to the local council. So for the two, probably in this sense, you have a formal letter for this one. Yung last two, writing to an English-speaking friend and writing to a neighbor, it may be it may be an informal letter, or if your neighbor is someone that you just know by name and have no close relationship with, probably this is a semi-formal letter, right? Yeah, so it can be formal, semi-formal, or informal letter. Definitely yung English-speaking friend, yan, informal letter siya. So how does your writing task 1 task card look like? It looks like this. Yeah, so there is task 1 over here at the top, and then there is the instruction you should spend about 20 minutes on this task. Okay, and then inside this box you have here the first 2 lines. These are your task description. This is your task description. So what is the situation about? So for this case, you have been doing some voluntary work to help your local community. However, now you are unable to continue doing this work. So that's your situation. What do you need to do? Below, there are 3 bullets, the one that I kept on mentioning a while ago. So 3 bullets. You will be asked to write to the manager of the organization that you are volunteering to. And then in that letter, you need to describe the work that you have been doing. So probably you can discuss there that you're assigned to the registration committee, or you're assigned to do, let's say, publicity materials or collaterals, maybe. And then you explain why you can no longer do this work. So you can say that probably a reason why you cannot do the volunteer work anymore in the community is because you may be transferring to another place, or you started with school already. So think of, again, think of believable situations. Okay. And lastly, recommend another person who is interested in the work. So there you go. You need, for this case, I think it's better for you to present this one in 3 different body paragraphs. Okay? So your next, write at least 150 words. So you will see that. And yeah, no need to write any addresses. Okay? And you will also have an instruction here on how you can how you can address, or how you need to begin your letter. Okay, so dear blank. So may manager dyan. Okay, next. Yan, there is a question. Pwede po ba resignation? Yan. Yeah, pwede po resignation from your volunteer work. Yes, it can be like a resignation work. Pero the resignation term was not mentioned here. And usually pag volunteer work, do you resign from a volunteer work? I doubt that you resign from a volunteer work. Probably you cannot continue, pero resignation is not the correct term for volunteer work. So yun, okay? This is the sample. Any questions as of the moment? Any questions? Noted pose. Okay. So yeah, after this one, what we will do is for you guys to actually answer the specific task description for this one. I've prepared two though. But we can try to do this one as well. Okay. So here you go. And so here, okay. Yeah, prior to the writing and evaluation, prior to that, let's discuss first the difference of an informal and an informal letter. Wala pong questions with regard to the grading criteria or the language that you will use. Yeah. Okay. So far, no questions. No questions also, none. All right, sige. Now, in terms of your kinds of letters, for an informal letter, you may write this, of course, to your family, to your friends, to your special someone, to your loved one. Yeah, you can write informal letters. Of course, since this is an informal letter, you know their name. So if, for example, you know that it's an informal letter, if it states that you have to write a letter to, let's say, an English-speaking friend or your cousin, you have to write the name of your cousin. You can just think of any random name. Okay, it will not be verified. Don't worry. So you can just think randomly. Okay. In terms of the tone of your letter, it's more chatty if it is informal. But for the formal letter, yeah, so it is concise and professional. The language that you use is also more formal in terms of the words. Yun. Also, for an informal letter, since it is chatty, you may add some ideas or let's say some concepts and some situations or additional matters that are not found in your task description. It's not that strict in terms of dapat lahat nasa task description na. It's not like that for informal letter. It's just that do not be carried away naman na pwedeng magsulat ng other information. Do not be carried away na magsusulat ka ng chika minute dun sa friend mo if you're going to write to a friend, 'di ba? So, huwag naman ganun because it will really consume your time. Okay? Still, you have 20 minutes allotted for this. Baka mamaya maaliw ka sa chika minutes. So, hindi ka na makapag-edit dun sa dulo. So, ganun lang siya. Okay? Also, in terms of yung mga do's and don'ts, contractions are allowed for informal letters. And then, sa formal letters, contractions are not allowed. Okay. Guys, give me an example of a contraction. What is a contraction? Hindi yung maternal, yung pregnant contraction. Not like that. Yan. Galing ni BFF. 5. Don't. Thank you, Sir Jeff. What else? How about from Zoom? From Facebook. What are kinds of contractions that you can think of? Ito yung mga shortened version ng two words natin. I for I have. Don't for do not. Yung y'all, not so much non yung yon. Medyo yung y'all, you cannot use it for formal, of course. Yan. Hadn't, haven't, wouldn't, don't. Very good. Wasn't. Okay. Yung don't, that's correct. Don't is a contraction, Rich Mary Paredes. You are correct. However, please make sure that dun sa contractions ninyo, please make sure that you are still applying proper punctuation. So if it's wasn't, don't, wouldn't, can't, won't, yung mga ganyan, dapat meron pa rin siyang apostrophe T. Do not forget the apostrophe. Shouldn't, very good, Maria Ana. Leif, didn't also, yung sinabi niya. Yan, haven't, wouldn't, couldn't, could have, very good. Who'll, I'll, I've, yung mga ganyan. O, di ba? Ang daming contractions. So, these are the words that you may use. Okay. For the formal letter, no contractions. Very concise and professional lang to. So, for these kinds of words, you cannot use yung mga very informal kinds of words. And in the same way, for an informal letter, avoid using also yung formal language. If you're writing to a friend, will you be writing to her, let's say you're writing to a friend regarding a vacation. I'm very grateful that you write to your friend that I'm very grateful you agreed to stay at my place. Hence, I will not have a hard time thinking about my responsibilities. Can you write that? If you're writing to a friend, can you use hence? The word. And I'll type it on the chat box. Yan, so hence. Hence for an informal letter. Can you use this? Yes or no? Yan, Miss Steph, Del, Joyce, yan, no. Rich Mary, very good. No. Informal letter kasi siya. If you're a friend and then you received a letter that has hence, therefore, thus, yung mga ganyan. Di ba parang friendship? What's happening? Informal yung letter. So you should maintain the chatty tone in your letter. So dapat, if it's an informal letter, you should still feel na informal pa rin siya. Parang baka mamaya yung friend mo, pag binasa yung letter mo, siya? Sobrang upo siya ng diretso because the letter is so serious in terms of the words that you use, diba? Very good, Miguel, M, Nikki, Ria, Nika, and NTR. Yun. Okay. Good job, guys. So yung mga words nyo, careful din ha. For some, they say that an informal letter is easier to write. For the others naman, like for me, personally, I find it easier to write a formal letter because I'm used to writing communication in the office. So formal talaga yung tone. That's why when I was practicing, I allotted more time to write informal letters because a common mistake that I commit is the words that I choose. So yun, the exact example that I've given you a while ago, yung hence, nakomit ko yan. Mga several instances that I have hence, thus, therefore, yun, yung mga ganun na words. Okay? So careful on your words. Okay. There. Okay. Any questions about informal and formal letters? None so far. Different din guys yung how you will end your letters. For an informal letter, you can just simply say your friend. Can you use sincerely if it's an informal letter? Sincerely, comma, and then your name? Or should sincerely be used for a formal letter? Sincerely. Yan, of course. So what is an appropriate signature or closing for an informal letter? Yan, kasi yung sincerely, pwede siya for informal. How about for a formal letter? Pag informal, how will you end your letter? Best regards, you can use that. Regards. Very good. Kind regards, you can use that. Yep. Regards, love, your friend, your buddy. Okay. Marites, your buddy is correct. Pero yung B dun sa buddy, it should be small letters. Okay. Careful. So ito. Yung Marites said your buddy pero like this siya dapat. Yan. Your buddy. Okay. Amy. Kunyari ganyan. Okay? Make sure that if you have two words for your closing dun sa informal letter ninyo or sa formal letter, yung second word, small letter na siya. Small letter na siya dapat. Okay? Kunyari, sincerely yours. Yung yours, small letter. Yung sincerely, yung S in sincerely is a capital letter. For kind regards, your K is capital. Yung R mo sa regards should be small letter naman na siya. Okay? All right. Good job, guys. Very good. Very good. Now, I think you all are ready to write your own letters. Dahil John, let us prepare this one. Let's do this. Okay. Writing. You will actually have to write your own letter. I hope you have your laptops ready. Do you have your laptops ready or anything that you can use to share your outputs? I hope, let me just adjust this one. I hope it's clear for you, or I hope you can see. Very good. To this one. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. You live in a room in college which you share with another student. However, there are many problems with this arrangement and you find it very difficult to work. Write a letter to the accommodation officer at the college. In the letter, describe the situation, explain your problem and why it is difficult to work, and say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. Okay, so you would write at least 150 words for this letter. You don't need to write any addresses and you can begin your letter as follows. Yan, yung dear sir or madam at the bottom, this part, dear sir or madam here, that is how you need to start your letter. So anything that is provided here, it should be exactly what you will write in your letter. Okay? So yun. I will just have to, I think, adjust this one para bigger siya for you. Okay, there. There. Yan. So begin your letter with dear sir or madam. Since you will be just doing this for 20 minutes, that's your allotted time, I think you can do this in one round. I mean, you can do 20 minutes for the whole task, or would you like to have the first introduction paragraph muna and then the first line? Rich Mary has a question. Rich Mary, is this a question about yung sa signature, yung thanks? comma, and then your name at the bottom of thanks, you can use that. That is provided you did not say thank you dun sa body ng letter mo. But if you said, thank you for your time, or I thank you in advance for your assistance or for your attention regarding this matter, and then you would say thanks again as your closing, redundant na siya if that's the case. If you did not say thank you, yung thanks, I think it's better to just be used as part of the closing paragraph rather than a closing. Okay, sige. First 5 minutes, write the introduction first. So, beginning with dear, sir, or madam, hanggang introduction paragraph. And then we divide the 3. Introduction paragraph and yung describe the situation na part. Okay? Alright, so I'll be leaving you for a while. I'll return after around 7 minutes. 7 minutes talaga. So, sige, 9, mga 9 minutes naman. I'll give you 9 minutes. I'll be back at 9:50. So, what you need to write is your introduction paragraph plus yung first bullet point. Okay? So, please do write that. Your answers can be shared dito sa inyong chat box. If you're watching in Facebook or on Facebook, you can write it here sa chat box ng Facebook. If you're here, logged in sa Zoom, you can share your answer dito sa ating Zoom chat box. So I'll be back at around 9:50. Okay, please. No questions so far? After you've shared your example, we will be evaluating some of those who added their work dito sa chat box natin. You're welcome also, Rich Mary Paredes, for your question. Okay, if ever you're done, guys, please don't be shy. Don't hesitate to share your answers in our chat box, either here on Zoom or if you're watching live on Facebook, you can also share yung answers ninyo, the introduction, and then up until the first body paragraph on yung first bullet point of the letter dito sa live chat. Okay, and then we will choose. I will choose randomly dito. Okay, as promised, it's 9:50 already, and then I'll just be taking this one. This is from, yeah, for evaluation neto. Can you see it? Okay, there you go. Very good. So again, we're expecting two paragraphs. So the first one is your introduction paragraph, and then the next one is your body paragraph. In here, we only have, am I correct? This is only one paragraph for this one. I'm not sure because we have several syntax errors when it comes to typing in Zoom. But anyway, so as we go back here, um, for your introduction paragraph, you're supposed to paraphrase your task description. So this is your whole task description, the one above. And then in paraphrasing that, it can provide already your content for your introduction. So you can paraphrase this in about 2 to 3 sentences, enough for your introduction. And then describing the situation is another paragraph. So that's your second paragraph already. Okay. So for this case, let's try to correct this one. Dear Madame Cruella, I am Gladys Lacanilaw, a nursing senior year student of this school. These past few days, I find it hard to work with the tasks that I was mandated to do to the reason of me uncomfortable with my roommate. Few days ago, she brought her friends inside our cabin and partied like there is no other person with them. Okay. Let's look at this one. I understand that for your first part, in your introduction, we mentioned that you need to paraphrase your task description and then you need to introduce yourself. Plus, um, you also need to provide um, an introduction of yourself without stating your name. So if you stated your name here already, wouldn't it be redundant if at the end of your letter later on you will be saying respectfully Gladys Lacanilaw again? So you can try to remove this and then save your name for later on. So I am a nursing senior year student of this school. So you can just have this first sentence as your introduction. So this one is, by the way, as you can see, it's a formal letter. You're writing to someone holding a position. So write a letter to the accommodation officer. Okay, there you go. And then these past few days, I can find it hard to work with tasks that I was mandated to do. Wow, mandated to do for the reason that I am uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable with my roommate. Okay. So uncomfortable with the roommate, was it provided here? Going back to the task description. Very difficult to work, uncomfortable with the roommate. Probably it may work together. Okay, good job. The first part of, or the first bullet, yung description of your situation, you can write that as a separate paragraph. So this one, yung explanation na few days ago, she brought, ganyan. So separate paragraph siya. Make sure that you have one line intended, or there's a separation of another line in between paragraphs. But it's clearer to understand also, or it's easier to understand structure-wise for your letter, diba? It's better to have it that way than to just have like this. You don't know where is the separation of the paragraphs, right? So just make one line for this one. Add a line there. Okay. Few days ago, she brought her friends inside her cabin and partied like a cabin room, or unit. You can use unit and partied like there is no other person with them. Okay, you explain this another sentence, describe the situation. Apart from this, you can also add another problem that you might be experiencing with your roommate. So apart from her partying without consideration to the others, you can probably say that she's also messy. You can try to add additional details also for this one. Okay. Not only is she inconsiderate, I I is also not particular with cleanliness. Oh. Partied like there is no other. So in terms of privacy, okay. You haven't mentioned anything with privacy. Not only is she considerate, but she is also. So as you can see, I used not only, but also. So in terms of structure, you're having compound sentence already. So good job. This one is also another this one is also a compound sentence. So good job. Sentence structure, grammar, good, amazing. Okay, thank you so much. So done with our first example. Let's look at the work. Okay, no examples yet. Wait, let me check from Zoom, or let me check from Facebook. Let's do this randomly. How about Facebook? Any chat that we have? There. This is the work of Try, si Miss Nika. Okay, Miss Nika, we will check your work. Miss Nika. Yeah, Miss Nika Junicio. Hi, Miss Nika. Welcome to the class. Oops, wait. Sorry. Based on our instruction, you will write, sir, this is the instruction. Dear sir or madam, you have to begin your letter as follows. So you need to follow that here. Dear sir or madam. You have to follow what is written here. Yan, dear sir or madam with a comma. So copy mo lang din yan. Dear sir or madam with a comma. So gonna na, careful. I almost missed that. Okay, next, after that, we have this one. Oopsie. This one is from Miss Nika. Okay, dear sir or madam, very good. You've written the correct um, haltation for the letter. I am writing this report to inform you of my concerns about present flatmate who is making my stay at the dorm hotel difficult. I am having unavoidable and unmanageable problems due to her projects, and those are impacting my work imperfectly. Okay, let me see. So introduction first. You probably can just stay here. I'm staying at unit 402. Or I have been staying at unit 402 since the beginning of the sem year. Okay, I am writing this report to inform you of my concerns about, so this is your purpose or your intention, about my present flatmate who is making my stay in the dorm hotel difficult. So it's okay. Let's just have a very simple introduction. So what, introduce yourself and then paraphrase the task description and state your purpose. Your purpose is to report that you have a problem with your present roommate. Okay, so you can do just this sentences, make it concise, but make sure that the meaning is still the same. Okay, it's still complete. Let's begin our first body paragraph. So it's all about describing the situation. Please do not forget though your space before your first body paragraph. So next, I am having an unavoidable and unmanageable problems due to her project, and those are impacting my work imperfectly. Okay, due to her project. Probably you would like to provide details. What is it that makes her project a problem for you? Is it noisy if she does her project, or is it because her materials that she uses for her project are scattered everywhere, that you're not having that the place or your room is not conducive for your learning anymore? So you can give details for this one. It's better if you give details. Do not be shy to give details, but do not overdo the details. Okay. Unimaginable projects due to her project. Explain. Give a little detail for this one. Her materials. Yeah. So probably we'll just have her materials. Her scattered place and this um impact me. This hinders me from working 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 imperfectly or working. Okay, this hinders me from working well, or yeah, yeah. So probably you can just add that, or you can also say that this lead this has led or place na um, this has turned or place. Probably this enough details will be fine for your first body paragraph. Thank you so much, Miss Nika. Yan, give details, and then the details make it realistic. So if she's working on a project, what is it about the project that is bothering you? Why is it a problem? So there. I've given a description of why it has become a problem. Next, let's get another example. Okay, this is from Joyce. I'm doing it I'm taking examples alternately from Zoom and FB. Okay. Dear Sir Jones, good day. I am writing. Okay, again, the beginning should be Dear Sir or Madam. Good day. I am writing this letter to request for a new accommodation next semester as I find my current sharing arrangement quite inconvenient. Introduce yourself first. Good day. I am probably you can say that I've been in this apartment for 2 years already. You can say that, and I am writing this letter. So your purpose. Do not forget to introduce yourself. I am a graduating student staying at apartment for 2 years already. I'm writing this letter, okay, as I find my current sharing arrangement quite inconvenient. Okay, explain the situation. So next paragraph. My roommate is really concentrate on my studies, especially when I am reviewing. I am hoping that you can help me out. This one, yung part na I am hoping that you can help me out, probably this can be a part of your closing paragraph. Okay, you can just save this one for later. But instead, you can just describe the situation first because that is what was asked of us. My roommate Sheena made it difficult for me to concentrate in my studies, especially when I am reviewing. Last week, so it happened already. Her friend kept on visiting her and would stay overnight. Okay. Period. And that sentence already. I am not comfortable with that, especially since I am preparing for my examination. Since I am preparing for my examination this week. So you can present this already. Actually, this is enough. Okay, in terms of the space, you can just, wait, let me adjust this one. Okay, let's do this. Due to her inconsiderate behavior, I find it very challenging to concentrate with my studies. You can just delete this one there and just retain the two. Usually for me, for my body paragraphs, I try to have 2 to 3 sentences for this one. Just enough that I have an supporting details and the main idea. Let's see if it's asking me to describe, how am I going to describe yung main idea lang. Not too long, not too short man for this one. Okay, without any okay. Okay, there. Very good. Thank you so much. Next, let us proceed with another example from Zoom. So again, we're doing this alternately. Oh, that was something from Zoom. Let me get something from the chat box instead of Facebook. Okay, this is from Miss Joy Espana. Okay, let me just copy. Oopsie. There. Okay. Yeah. So this one is, Dear Sir or Madam, I am one of the students who is occupying one of the rooms, so this should have an S, one of the rooms on the second floor, building B. Very good introduction. I am writing to inform you that I have some issues with an S, with the arrangement, having another student to share with the room. Okay, with the room arrangement. You can retain this. Good job. Yet. I am disappointed with the new student that I have to share my room for the reason that she was always okay. I am disappointed with my new roommate because someone you're sharing the room with is your roommate, right? I am disappointed with my new roommate for the reason that with my new roommate for the reason that she always leaves with an S, leaves her things unorganized. She's also very inconsiderate during sleeping time. She plays music like she is alone in the room. Okay. Okay. Were you able to describe the situation? Yes, she was able to give the problems, leaves the things unorganized, inconsiderate during sleeping time. She plays music like she is alone in the room. So there. It's just that if you would want to attain higher score for grammatical range and accuracy, show that you have a capacity to prepare or to make more complex sentence structures. Okay. Here you have also you can also write here she even plays music like she's alone in the room. Okay, she also said that. Okay, let me just adjust. She even plays music like. Okay. Okay, she's alone in the room. Okay, there. All right, there. See, it's just very easy for you to write. Okay, next. Thank you so much, Joy Espana. Okay. Thank you guys for giving your examples. Now we will proceed. Instead of writing introduction and your body paragraph for bullet number 1, you have to finish bullet number 2, explaining your problem and why it is difficult to work, and then say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. Why is it difficult to work? A while ago, you were able to describe already your problem. Tell why is it difficult to work. If, for example, you um, mentioned about the noise, or let's say sleeping, the disturbances in sleeping. Why is it making it difficult for you to work or to study? For this case, since you are a student. Okay, or difficult to work. There. So you'll be given another 10 minutes for this one. So you'll be writing, I think, the second bullet point, third bullet point, up until the last one. So you can close your letter also. Okay. Now, whether you will be writing or providing your contact information will depend on what kind of letter is this. What do you think is this type of letter? Formal or informal? Okay, so I'll be giving you 10 minutes for this one. Very good. This is a formal letter. Thank you, Miss Nika. Formal. Miss Ria, good job. It's also a formal letter. Yes. Yan, it's a formal letter. So if it's a formal letter, ultimately, you have to present your contact information. So you have to save a paragraph for that. That particular paragraph can be just a short, that can be comprised of two sentences only. So it's enough for that. Okay, so I'm excited to read your the remaining part of your letter. Up until the end, please do write up until the end part, until your closing. Okay, closing. Again, if you're done with your work, you can share your output via Facebook live chat or here in the Zoom chat box. All right. Anyone finished with their work? And let's try to edit your work, guys. So for the for the second body paragraph, you have to explain your problem and say why it is making it difficult for you to work. And then say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. If there's any change that you would want to do because of the situation that you're facing, you can describe it there, or you can explain it in that paragraph. Okay, so as the others are writing, yeah, let me present a good news to you guys. Yeah, and of course, in the continued effort of Niner to assist you guys in everything that you need for your IELTS review, 9.09er has launched our official Shopee account. Yay! So we have a Shopee account already, guys. And the first product in that account, of course, is our IELTS Band 9 Essay Writing Guide, written by none other than Mr. or Sir Brian Shawson. He got 9.0 in IELTS writing, as well as 90 for PTE writing as well. So yan, this can be found on Shopee. So ito na yung part nyo. Don't wait for 11.11 anymore. You can just order this because it comes at an introductory price of 649 pesos. I think come October, or at least before the end of October, this will be priced at 999 pesos, or I'm not sure with the price, but please grab the chance to have a copy and avail of it at the introductory price of 649 pesos. So as you can see here, oh, diba? It's 35% off. So do the math, it's 999 pesos yung price niya. Okay, what's the content of this book? This has 32 model essays, all written by Sir Brian himself. And then apart from that, this is a 177-page book, which contains the essays and also some guides for writing. Apart from that, you will also get you'll also get a free 13-hour general IELTS course from 9.09er, plus a 3-month access to our intensive writing course. So, madami pa yan freebie, guys. When you open the box, you will get the freebies, and you will soon find out that you got this book at a steal. Kasi ang dami niyang inclusions. Okay? Yan. So, we have one good news after another. So, of course, we just launched this book and several others. I got my copy already. Yay! Look, oh. Kapal niya, guys. O, diba? I got my copy already. So, yun, marami pang, yan, oh, mga sulat siya, guys. O, diba? No spare space for this one. So, everything is useful. Winner na winner talaga. Bongga, diba, BFF? Dami, oh. For those who are reviewing, super swerte kayo. You are all lucky to have sample essays or model essays written by a true blue quadruple niner, diba? So 9.0 siya sa writing. Add to cart nyo na. Okay? And apart from this good news, diba? So finally, yan, na-approve na din ang partnership of IELTSonlinetests.com and 9.09er. Of course, these are the two #1 institutions when it comes to your IELTS writing. 9.0, Niner IELTS Review and Tutorial Center, #1 review center in the Philippines. I think in the whole world also. Charot. Yun ang aim natin. Go for worldwide dominance. Okay? So yan. Tapos, meron din tayo dito na IELTSonlinetest.com partners. What is IELTSonlinetests.com? So when you click, yan, yung, wait lang, I'll copy this link sa chat box. Sorry, wait lang. When you click the link, and I'll copy it sa Zoom chat box and Messenger chat box. There you go. So yung www.ieltsonlinetests.com. So you can create your account there. And if you created your account, you will enjoy services for free, guys. Atin-atin lang to. Free services. Free mock tests. Ilan bang mock test? 100 mock tests lang naman, guys. You can review for your reading, writing, speaking, listening subtest dito sa IELTSonlinetests.com. Diba? So, yun. Super daming regalo ni Sir Irvin. Wala pang Christmas, but still, you already have yung mga gifts na to. Early Christmas gifts from Sir Irvin. Don't worry, guys, kasi we still have a long way to go up until Christmas. But, marami na tayong planned for all of you. Okay. Now, we can go back na. Okay, wait lang. Let me check. So, please bookmark that, yung link na yan. Anyway, you can easily find it here sa chat box. Yan. Click that. Create your own account. Okay? There. Okay. After that, we will go back to our task at hand. Yan. We will continue with the work of Miss Joy. Miss Joy said, yan, continuation na to, paragraph number 2, kasi bullet point number 2 na siya. So you can have this. Yan. With that, I cannot concentrate during study time with cluttered things. So probably yung first niya, if you've mentioned cluttered things, make sure that in your problem, you've mentioned the situation with cluttered things around the room. Also, you can add also, or probably I cannot also rest early during nighttime. There. Yan. So, if you cannot rest early during nighttime, probably you can create another statement here. Thus, I feel uneasy the next day and I am unable to the next day. Uneasy, or you feel uneasy and unproductive. Unproductive the next day. So you can do that. Yeah. So what is the problem there? Okay, there. And then I hope my concern will be discussed. Or if it is possible, I would like to request for a new accommodation. I am willing to pay extra cost if needed. So you just have to describe, if you're trying to request for a new accommodation, is it okay if you need, is it okay for you to have a roommate, or do you want to be alone in that room? To request for a new room or a solo room, or yun. So pwedeng new accommodation, single accommodation only, you will have no roommate. Or you can have a new accommodation, new room, pero you can have a roommate. You have to clarify it. So you have to mention that there. Do you want a roommate or not? Let's not have a roommate. A solo room. Request for a new room is there is an available one. If it is possible, I would like to request for a new solo room if there is an available one. I am willing to pay extra cost if needed. Feel free to contact me anytime. Of course, if you said feel free to contact me anytime, make sure that you have already stated your contact information here. Contact information at, probably you can see, yan, yung contact number mo, or you can say, or you can include here your email, whichever you think is best to include here. Okay, I will be glad to visit your office to make new arrangements. Okay, that's good. Faithfully yours, present a space here again. There, faithfully yours, yung Y should be a small letter Y. Faithfully yours, Joy Espana. You can write here at the end. You can write, wait, where is that? You can still write here. Yan. You can write, yan, student. You can write that. Or tenant. Something like that. Or you can not have this one. But for me, if it's a formal letter, usually I write a title here. Yan, if I'm a tenant, or if I'm a student, or if I'm a complainant, if I'm a customer, if I'm a client, I write it here. So there. Okay, next. We'll have to proceed with this one. Okay, who's next? Okay. Let us look at the work of Miss Rich Mary Paredes. Ay, from beginning to end yata yung kay Miss Rich Mary. I would like to take the second body paragraph for this one instead. Yeah, Miss Peters and I. So I'd like to do first itong body paragraph muna. First two one. Okay. Second bullet point for her is this one. Yan, may student pala. Okay. Second bullet point. Yan. Second bullet point is, according to this one, you have to explain your problems and why you think it is difficult to work. Okay, is there an explanation here? As you know, Miss Peters is reviewing for her bar exams. She needs a stable and steady internet connection and a quieter place to review to avoid distractions. I, on the other hand, is currently working on my thesis and is also always on Zoom calls with my groupmates. Ah, this is different. You're the noisy one. You keep on calling and calling and calling and talking and talking and talking to people. Understandable. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good job. Okay, this is a different situation for this one. Miss Peters is the roommate. Okay. Probably instead of just saying as you know, as much as possible, try to avoid using you or second person pronouns for your letters. Okay. There, Miss Peters is reviewing for her bar exams. Okay. Probably you can add here for a smoother transition or coherence, so that your first sentence that states that she's reviewing for her bar exams to move closely to your second statement and to link that to the bar exam idea, you can say because of this, she needs a stable and steady internet connection and a quieter place to review to avoid distractions. Okay, so yun. Reviewing for her bar exams. In relation to reviewing for the bar exams, she needs a stable. But so that the transition would be smoother, I used because of this. This is the reason reviewing for the bar exams, why she needs stable and steady internet and a quieter place to review to avoid distractions. So that is how your transition words, your cohesive devices help out in terms of your coherence and your cohesion. Okay, it makes it easier to understand. Yeah. I, on the other hand, very good. Yung I, on the other hand, so you're presenting your side of the story. I, on the other hand, but do not forget a comma. I, on the other hand, I'm currently okay. Even if you have on the other hand here, it should always be I'm currently, I is. It's not I is, it's always I am. I am currently working on my thesis and this also always on Zoom calls with my group mates. Okay, so your Zoom calls disrupts her. Okay. Okay, there. Good job. Very good for this part, for this body paragraph. Let's continue with your suggestion of or up until the last part. Yan. So dito, tapusin na natin siya. Here, let's finish it with this one. Would it be possible? So make sure though that you have a space between your body paragraphs. Yan. Careful with this, guys. Yeah, spaces are very important. Would it be possible for us to move to an available two-bedroom unit? Usually, we try to avoid using um, interrogative statements or questions. If it is possible, okay. So you can just say if it is if possible, if it is possible to move. Or you can just say it's possible for us to move to an available two-bedroom unit. So usually for formal letters as well as for writing task 1, numbers, yung 1 to 9 should have to be spelled out. Okay, so it's the same case here. Two-bedroom unit, instead of using number 2, you have to spell out 2, TWO dash, bedroom. Bedroom is spelled with a letter, small letter B. Capitalization matters, guys. Okay, be careful with that one also. I would highly appreciate if it is possible for us to move, if we can move to an available two-bedroom unit. Ms. Peters and I would like to stay as roommates until the end of this semester, and we are willing. So you mentioned Ms. Peters and I. So this is your subject. So therefore, this should also agree. Your verb should also agree with that. Okay. And we are. So you can just clearly say we are. Would like to stay as roommates until the end of the semester, and we are willing to pay additional cost if provided or if needed. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll be waiting for your response. Okay, for clarifications, you may reach me at and then present your number. Yeah, so assuming that it's your number. Okay. Okay, sincerely yours, Rich Paredes. Do you have there? You can probably say tenant or student or renter yon. So may title. With title, okay lang. Without title, okay lang. But as for me, I usually add the title if it's a formal letter. Okay, they're there. Very good. Okay, next. This one is from FB. Now we're getting from Zoom. Ay, quiet ang mga Zoom. Quiet sa Zoom. Let's look at the others. Thank you, Miss Rich Mary, for your example. Let's look at the rest. Oh, it's raining here. I hope it's not raining in your area, guys. Please be safe from everything that's happening, whether it's COVID or yung weather natin. Please be safe. Please be healthy. Okay, next. Yan. So let's proceed with this one. Complete na yung letters, guys. How about the rest? I'd like to commend, by the way, the one that was written by Miss Rich Mary Paredes. Good job yung letter niya. We have a question. Okay. Yes. Miss Joy asked, for paper-based exam, do we need to sign the letter for formal letter? Yes. Sign the letter. You have to sign it. You have to sign the letter. Sign yun natin. Autograph din yun. Paper-based. Okay? Oh, by the way, for paper-based, if it's a letter, I do suggest that you write directly on the paper. Huwag na kayo mag-scratch paper. Kasi you only have 20 minutes. If you're writing, if you'll be outlining on a separate sheet, tapos you will transfer, sayang yung time ninyo. You only have 20 minutes to do that. So, diretso na. Anyway, you can just cross out naman. Whenever you have corrections, you can cross out. I just find it more practical if you're writing on the paper directly. For writing task 1, but for writing task 2, I do suggest that you have an outline for that first. So it's easier for you to think of your arguments, to plan which sentence comes first, and then which comes next. So yun, okie dokes. So there. Yan. So far, we have just one example for this. Yan. Let's look at the work of Miss Nika naman. This will be the last one for tonight. If ever you have questions, you can keep them coming. You can just type the questions there. Okay. Okay, so here you go. Yan. Okay, this needs to have several body paragraphs. Actually, 2 more body paragraphs because you have to explain your situation and then you have to present suggestions. I would favor anything quiet. My last semester is final. My last semester is approaching and I would like to be transferred to I would like you to transfer to either me or my dormmate to another room. If your dormmate, if in your letter your dormmate is someone you're not close to, probably it's better for you to have yourself transferred than your dormmate transferred, right? Because again, in this situation, if you are the dormmate, would you like to be transferred because you're noisy? Or if it's okay with you, would you like yourself to be transferred to another one? Parang for me, it's more logical that I be transferred instead. I don't know. I'm just a little conscious about that. Because in here you stated that I would like you to transfer to transfer either me or my dormmate. Yan. So yun lang. Careful with this one. You have to choose. choose na. Who would you like to be transferred? You or your dorm mate? Transfer you or your dorm mate. For me, it's easier to be transferred to another room. So you can request if there's an available room, just like the other examples that we've had. If it's possible, or if there is any room, I would like to be transferred to the empty room, to the available room, to the vacant room. So yun, you can do that. My last room, and I would like to. As such, I would like to be transferred to another room if there is anything available. Okay, I do not mind the room type as long as it is quiet and favorable. Oh, there. So see, this one, you said you like to transfer either you or your roommate, but then again, in your next sentence, you said, I do not mind the room type as long as it is quiet and favorable for my studies. So for this sentence, it's clear that you want to be transferred. You're the one who wants to be transferred. You don't mind if the new room is big or small, if it's spacious, if it's facing the window. All you need to have is just to meet the requirement of it being a quiet room, therefore being a favorable room, or a room conducive to your work and to your study. So yun, that's why you need to reread your letter. You need to proofread so that you will see if the things that you've listed are coherent, or medyo ganun yung mga concepts nyo. Dapat ganun siya. One straight line siya. Link together yung mga sentences, yung mga words nyo, even your suggestions, they should be linked together. Okay? Yan. Thank you very much for your consideration. Thank you very much for your consideration. Okay. You may reach me at yan. Yan. So you may email me at yan. For questions, yan. You may reach me. Yan. Good job. Ay, sorry. Tapos, you have to have a space na lang. Dorothea Ann Gilmore. Ah, Dorothy Gilmore. Okay. I'm watching Gilmore. Okay. There. Very good. Okay. Thank you so much for this one. Good job. Okay, question. In computer-based, do we need to sign the formal letter po? Next year na po ako mag-take ng IELTS examination. Medyo busy ako kay mother. Ngayon po, I'll be back soon. Na-busy si ma'am. Okay, welcome back to your IELTS review. I hope mag-continue yung IELTS review. But for this one, I do suggest, for computer delivered, you don't need to sign na. Okay na siya. As long as you have this one. Yung yours faithfully. That's your signature now. We call that the signature. Okay? Yan, sige. Wait lang. Meron tayong chat sa the Zoom. We have a letter. If I need extra paper to write, I can't ask extra one. I think it's safer not to ask an extra paper for that one. They can provide you, pero parang merkado. So best to just use what is provided for you. If you asked for an extra paper, I mean, probably you've written something longer than what is expected, probably for that one. Pero for paper-based, usually the paper that they will be giving for you is enough already for you to write either the 250-word task 2 essay or this 150-word letter or yung essay for the academic one. Okay. Yan. So this one is from NC. Yan. Very, very, very quickly lang. For this, okay. Additional lang to. Kasi she's written something. In terms of the last part, in line with this, very good cohesive device. So in line with this, because yung previous body paragraphs, she presented about the problem and why it's having, why she's having concerns with doing her work properly, or why she's having concerns with studying. May I request for your good office to review the rules in accepting visitors? May you, okay, do not follow the tenants and okay. I would suggest not to allow the tenants not to allow non-tenants to enter the accommodation except for emergency situations only. I understand that reviewing the accommodation rules may take some time, thus may I request you to find another accommodation. Okay, where I could stay alone to be able to concentrate on my studies without distractions. This would really help me a lot. I am willing to give an extra pay for it if if there is a need to do so. Careful with this one. If you have a paragraph, in terms of if in terms of the length of your paragraph, if this paragraph, I mean, if your third body paragraph is this long, make sure that your second and your first body paragraph is this long also. Otherwise, they will be imbalanced. So you need to make sure na balanced silang lahat so that the examiner is assured na you've given much thought equally dun sa bullets or dun sa tasks ninyo. If you find that this is long, you can shorten it. Anyway, for this one, you only need 150 words. Roughly for me, I think the lines, pag sa ano na, sa word file na, for the lines, usually my body paragraphs have around 3 to 4 lines. And then yung introduction paragraph ko around 2 to 3 lines lang siya. Usually that's my gauge. Even if I cannot see the word count, I know already that I've reached 150 words if my introduction and my conclusion, if my introduction and my conclusion has around 2 to 3 lines, tapos yung body paragraphs ko, either 3 lines or 4 lines. I do not exceed 5 lines kapag writing task 1 kasi limited lang yung time ko. For writing task 2, yung lines ko for my body paragraphs, it may extend from 5 lines to 7 lines, but average 6 lines lang siya. Plus minus 1 lang naman yung difference for this one. So if, for example, you shorten this paragraph, ganyan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines na lang siya. Yung ibang body paragraphs nyo, it should be 6 lines. They can be 7 lines. They can be 5 lines. So plus minus 1 lang yung difference. But again, I'd rather not lengthen the paragraph because it's risky. It might not be enough for me to finish the whole thing if I write too much details dun sa body paragraphs ko. So I haven't seen the first part of the letter, but if, for example, you have the first 2 bullet points combined and then this one is a separate bullet, so probably kung ito, wait, let me go back. For example, yung describing the situation and explaining the problem and why it's difficult to work is provided in 1 paragraph. Okay lang. Kasi as you describe the situation, probably same thing na din siya. You can explain why it's making it difficult for you to work. Pwede na din. It depends on how you actually present your ideas together. So if pinag-combine niyo siya, it's more likely that you can reach a longer paragraph for this one, enough to make it balanced with the long third bullet point. Yan. So ito kasi medyo napahaba siya. How many sentences do you have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 sentences siya. Parang ano na to, writing task 2, di ba? So you just need to be able to balance your paragraphs and manage your time as well. Okay? Careful try to be conscious with how long it takes you to write your essays regardless kung ano siya, task 1, to write sa writing, regardless kung task 1 siya or task 2. Because ultimately, when you come to your exam, you only have 60 minutes, guys. So you really have to be strategic. You have to manage your time well so that you are assured that you'll be able to finish within the 60 minutes allotted for you. Kasi even if you have a lot of ideas, if you are not able to finish your writing task because there's too much going on, and you're not able to restrain yourself, sayang lang din if you're not able to finish your task. Okay? So this one, I'm looking forward for a positive response regarding this matter. Yours faithfully, and then my name dito. Dorothy. Okay, so yun lang. Careful. There. I'm gonna include yan. Hanggang dito lang pala siya. This one is different. Okay. Yung sincerely NC student daw yung dito. Yung NC, I think you can, kasi NC nakalagay dito sa kanya. NC. I think it's better to provide your complete name for this one. Okay? There. So, that's the end of today's session. Again, as an ending reminder, do not forget, add to cart yun na, IELTS Band 9 Essay Writing Guide. And then, guys, grab this chance also. Create your accounts sa ieltsonlinetests.com. So I've shared the link already where you can create your account so that you may avail yung services of 9.09er and ieltsonlinetests.com for free. Diba? For free siya. Pero of course, yung sa Shopee, 649 yun. Only 649 only. So yun, kung may book nito, parang probably I can give this as a Christmas gift to my friends who are taking IELTS. O, di ba bongga to? For their future. Okay. Any more questions? Yan. Thank you so much for all who participated. I appreciate your time. Ay, pa-fan sign daw po. We will be requesting that kay Sir Irvin. Pa-fan sign kay Sir Brian. Naku, Sir Brian, sanay na si Sir Brian mag-fan sign. Ano naman siya, very efficient talaga at magaling si Sir Brian. So I think he can make do with his time naman. Kayang-kaya yan ni Sir. Diba? With more, parang 10 years of experience na yan with writing. Who better write a book like this than someone who scored 9.0 in the exam? So, yun talaga. Grab your books, guys. So there, thank you so much. Thank you so much to those who participated. IFNG, again, thank you so much. I appreciate your invitation. See you on Wednesday. Speaking naman tayo, guys, on Wednesday.
Thank you, Miss Den, BFF. So everyone, thank you. Good night from the Philippines. Take care always. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night po.